In Norse mythology, the name Loki has different meanings. First, and probably the lesser known, is Utgard Loki, a hideous and mischievous giant who once stole Thor's hammer while he slept. The story of Thor's quest to retrieve his Mjolnir, where he went as far as disguising himself as a bride, is still a popular legend to this day. Then we have the second Loki. This is the Loki most of you know, perhaps as a trickster. What is lesser known, however, is that Loki played a prominent role in the creation of man. It is said that he endowed the first human beings with the power of motion. He also caused blood to circulate freely in their veins, consequently bequeathing them the various passions of life. In the beginning, Loki, being fire, first married Glut or Glow. Together they sired two daughters, that is Isa, meaning embers, and Einmyria, which means ashes. With this in mind, it's evident why the ancient Norsemen regarded Loki as both the personification of the spirit of life and hearthfire. In fact, when the wood crackles in the hearth, the good wives in the north are still wont to say that Loki is beating his children. The trickster god also went on to marry other wives. His second marriage was with the giantess Angur-Boda, a name that translates to anguish bonding. Angur-Boda lived in Jotunheim and bore Loki three monster children, that is Hel, goddess of death, the Midgard snake, Lormungander, and the grim wolf, Fenris. Marrying a third time, Loki this time picked Sigyn, who would prove to be the most loving and devoted of his wives. Sigyn bore the god two sons, Narva and Vali, the latter named after the god who avenged Balder. Throughout their marriage, Sigyn remained faithful to her husband, choosing to remain by his side even when Loki was cast out of Asgard and confined in the bowels of the earth. On the matter of his divinity, legends of Loki's origin vary. Some authorities have it that Loki was part of the creative trilogy composed of Odin, Honir, and Loki, sometimes referred to as Lodur. However, others deny this and assert that the god originally belonged to a pre-Odinic race of deities, where he was the son of the great giant Fornjotnir, his brothers being Kari, air, and Hlur, water, and his sister being Ran, the terrible goddess of the sea. Other mythologists make him the son of the giant Farbauti, whose wife was Laufeya, also known as Nal. This latter version supports the popular position that Loki's connection to Odin was through the oath of blood brotherhood that is common in the North, and not real brotherhood. Regardless of which version you choose to believe, what is of no doubt is his character. Loki wasn't like the other gods. The general perception of him gradually shifted from a god to that of a god and a devil combined, before everyone eventually came to consider him as a replica of the medieval Lucifer, the Prince of Lies, the originator of deceit, and the backbiter of the Aesir. But how did that happen? A close look into his character holds some clues. Let's talk about Loki's character. In Norse mythology, Thor is the embodiment of industriousness. He's ever busy and working in earnest to achieve a particular goal. Loki, on the other hand, represents all the trappings of pleasure. He consistently makes his own fun until his love for mischief leads him so astray that he loses all love for goodness and becomes selfish and malevolent. Despite everything, Thor and Loki enjoyed a close companionship, which acted as a representation of the balance of opposites that holds the world together. Loki is often depicted as strikingly attractive, charismatic, and cunning. He is the manifestation of evil in its seductive and seemingly beautiful form. Because of this deceptive appearance, the Aesir did not initially avoid him. Instead, they treated him as one of their own, taking him along on their adventures, inviting him to their festivities, and even seeking his advice in their council hall. In this regard, although Loki sometimes gave the gods good advice and afforded them real help, most of it came when he had to save them from a predicament that he put them in, and his mischief knew no bounds. After all, it was Loki who stole Freya's necklace, cut off Sif's, Thor's wife, hair, and betrayed the goddess Idun into the hands of Thiassi, the giant. Consequently, Loki came to be regarded as the personification of evil and sin in the minds of the northern races. As such, they entertained nothing but fear of him, built no temples in his honor, offered him no sacrifices, and designated the most noxious weeds by his name. The uncomfortable, overheated air of the summer was taken as a sign of his presence. During such hot days, people were wont to comment that Loki was sowing his wild oats. When the sun appeared to be drawing water, they would remark that it was Loki drinking. All in all, the story of Loki is so inextricably woven with that of other gods that most of the myths relating to him have already been told. In summary, 2 episodes accurately sum up his character and being. One shows his better side before he had degenerated into the arch-deceiver, and the other illustrates how he finally induced the gods to defile their peace steads by willful murder. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe for more content. It helps this channel reach more audience, which in return helps us create more videos for you guys. Don't forget to share and leave a comment too. Until next time, take care.